much does it suck when you are doing something that's supposed to be so good for you and it ends up absolutely sidelining you, putting you right back where you started, or maybe even worse? This time of year, we are hearing so many folks that are starting to get active again, especially after the whole past year of being stuck on our butts in our couches or in our makeshift work from home setups. We've been doing a lot of sitting. So even though it's cold out, it's January, now is the time where so many folks get that momentum to get up and get moving, starting on some new exercises. But what I end up seeing, let's see, we're about 2 weeks into January. I'll start seeing this come in next week or the week after. Usually about week 3 or 4 is where I start to see folks coming in going, I started doing a new thing and now I hurt and I don't know why. Either they hurt themselves doing their new activity or they started noticing a buildup of old challenges coming back up. So what can you do? Why does this happen? And what are just 3 really easy tweaks that you can do to put your body in a better position so that you can get the most out of your exercises without them sidelining you? Because another thing that really bites is when you're doing these exercises, you feel like you've really got it, and then somebody comes along and they're like, okay, no, I'm just gonna give you some form advice. You hear this a lot in weightlifting, sometimes in dance, where they give you a tip on how to change your body position just a little bit. And now the exercise that you were doing is a heck of a lot harder because it turns out you were going easy mode. You weren't getting the most out of the exercise you were doing because your body wasn't in the right position. So we're going to dive into just 3 really simple posture tweaks, little things that you can do to change your body position so you can get the most out of your workouts without them putting your butt back on the sideline and back on the couch where you started. So you can actually get to your very best that much faster and easier. Before that, who the heck am I to be sharing this with you? If you're new to my world, welcome. I'm Dr. Vicky. I'm a chiropractor for people as well as pets. I'm a mind-body coach. I'm a Reiki healer. All the initials behind my name aside, all that means is I am here to help you be the very best that you possibly can with as little effort as possible and as long results as possible. There's so many folks out there that are just offering quick fixes. Quick fixes are usually only quick lasting. I'm here to help you get lasting results that you can carry through. I'm here to help empower you to be your best and stay that way. And I don't always just like this when I'm doing professional things, but I just got back from my own run and I came up with this idea for you while I was doing my own daily workout. So here we are. And it's easier to see me do all of these body position tweaks that I'm going to show you if I'm in workout clothes as opposed to something a little looser fit. So welcome to workout attire. Anyway, let's dive in to those 3 simple tweaks and why you need them. So a lot of folks I hear are, doing their workouts, but what they're not realizing is they're doing them in the same posture that they have been sitting in or standing in all day long. And what is that? I like to call it forward focused activity. We're on our computers, we're on our phones, we go home, we plop on the couch, we're still here. Everything is curled forward and loose. Nothing's tight anywhere other than the tight muscles that already have spasms in them and trigger points, but no muscles are on. You're not activating anything. And you're just curled up in this little ball. And when you go to work out, you're still all loosey-goosey, just this puddle of ooze and curled forward. And the first challenge that I start to see folks have when they dive into these new exercise routines is they start pulling muscles back here in the back of their neck, back in between their shoulder blades. They start pulling ribs out of alignment, and those really freaking hurt. That's where you get that sudden sharp pain kind of right in through here, and then it hurts when you take a deep breath or you cough or you sneeze. And those guys really bite. So one tweak that you can do to help put all of that back where it belongs, because it's just going to get exacerbated, especially if you're doing rows, you're doing bicep curls, you're doing all of this dancing stuff. If you're doing all of it with your shoulder blades off of your back, which is what this posture does, it pulls your shoulder blades off of your back. If you're doing all of that, it's just going to make it that much easier for all of these muscles, these joints to go awry and scream at you. and really leave you sidelined for a little while. I've seen some ribs give folks troubles for about a month. They don't always last that long. I always hope that they don't. And I'm definitely here to help you fix it and get it better as quickly as possible if it does come up. But oh, that'll leave you sidelined for sure. So the first posture tweak we want to do is putting our shoulder blades in our back pockets before we go to workout. And again, these posture tweaks are for any kind of exercise. Doesn't matter if you're going for a walk, if you're doing a run, if you're doing weightlifting, if you're doing dance or Zumba, if you're doing yoga, those workout videos all across YouTube. Doesn't matter what kind of exercise it is, you really want to focus on these three things to have your body in a good position that's healthy and that's going to give you the very most out of your workouts with the very least chance of injury. So number one, we want to put our shoulder blades in our back pockets. Now, what do I mean by that? We want to focus on the lat muscles, the latissimus dorsi. That's your Latin for the day. The lats rotate your shoulders out like, ah. I like to call this the superhero pose because you feel like you've got a great big glorious cape flowing off your back and you're like, yes, I am here to save the day. So you want to open up your shoulders. You want to rotate your shoulder blades back and down like you're sucking your shoulder blades into your back pocket. Those lat muscles run from the inside of your upper arm down diagonally to about your mid back. They're what makes the upper part of your waist, this right here, those are lats. So if somebody's got some really nice lats, some really well-developed lats, they'll look a little wider from the narrow part of their waist and they'll angle up a little bit more. Those are lats. That's what you're looking at. Lats are also what makes up the back border of your armpit, if that helps you visualize where that's at. So you want to turn on your lats to get your shoulder blades in your back pocket and your arms rotated out. So from the side, normally we're here on our computers or on our phones. You want to really get those shoulder blades in your back pocket. Now, posture tip number 2, when we roll our shoulders and put our shoulder blades in our back pocket, what ends up happening is our rib cage opens up and flares up. It's like a chip clip in your pantry, where if you squeeze the back of the chip clip, the front opens up. When you put your shoulder blades in your back pocket, that's like squeezing the back of the chip clip. And what ends up happening is the front of the chip clip, or your rib cage, flares open. And this means now all of these back muscles are on, but none of these ab muscles are on. Because if we're squeezing so tight back here, nothing in the front can turn up. The body has what's called antagonistic muscle groups. If two muscles work the same body part in opposite directions, they cannot be on at the same time. We have to find a balance there. They cannot both be maxed out at the same time. So we want to make sure that our shoulder blades are back, but we also want to make sure our rib cage is down and our abs are engaged. Because if you're doing all of these workouts without your abs on, especially if you're doing ab workouts without your abs on, oh, it makes things so much harder. Also, it puts a lot more strain on your back. If your shoulder blades are back, but all of this is opened up, now we're really crunching right here. We're really crunching right here. That puts a lot more strain on the spine. So we've got, number 1, our shoulder blades back. That flares our ribs. So we want to focus on squeezing these little muscles right underneath your rib cage. So my rib cage is kind of following the line of my thumbs right now. We want to focus on squeezing just these little guys at the very top to bring that rib cage back down. So shoulder blades are back in my back pocket and my ribs are flared right now. I'm going to tuck my ribs. So number 1, shoulder blades in your back pocket. Number 2, tuck your ribs. Now number 3, we're going to look at the pelvis. And this is so, so important, especially for the folks with low back pain, but also for the folks with plantar fasciitis, with knee trouble. Anything from the waist down is really going to benefit if you put your pelvis in the right position. Now, I'm going to find the back point of my pelvis. Always takes me a second to find it through the fluff. It's right there. Here's the front point of my pelvis. And if I get my fingers more or less pointing at each other, you can see that my pelvis likes to sit tilted. It tilts forward. What that means is everything in the back is really turned on. Everything in the front is really loose. So I'm not going to get a lot of good benefit, the max benefit out of ab exercises, which any exercise should be working your core. Core is not just abs, it's also the muscles deeper in as well, and the muscles around the back too. But I'm not going to be getting as good of a workout, especially on the core and the abs in the front, if my pelvis is tilted forward like that. And most of us are sitting here because we're sitting on our butts all day. So what we want to do is tuck our pelvis down. So if my tailbone is sticking out like that, I want to think about tucking my tailbone down and forward. And you can see that rotates the points of my hips. So right now, my pelvis is tilted. I'm going to rotate my tailbone down and forward, and that tilts my pelvis almost level. Now, you might notice that my belly kind of comes in a little bit when I do that. This is different than just sucking in the belly. Because if I just suck in the belly, my pelvis didn't move. I still have a lot of extra strain on my low back. And I'm going to tell you in a little bit how this also puts a lot of extra strain on my legs, my knees, my calves, my plantar fascia, and my feet. We want to get that pelvis rotated. So it's not just tucking in the belly. It is rotating that pelvis, rotating that tailbone forward. I'm going to tuck our tailbone. So when I put all three pieces together, you're going to see something really interesting. When I'm standing like a normal slob, because I am a slob, when I'm standing normal, my shoulders are relaxed, my shoulder blades are coming off my shoulders, this is all loose, my rib cage is doing whatever, and my pelvis is tilted down and forward, my tailbone's sticking out. So I'm going to do those 3 points. I'm going to put my shoulder blades in my back pocket. I'm going to tuck my rib cage. I'm going to tuck my pelvis. Did you see what happened to my whole body? How it shifted backwards. So I'll show you again. When I'm standing loose, I'm tilting forward. My whole body, you can't see my feet right now because of my camera angle, but if you could, I'm standing like I'm skiing down a slope. My whole body weight is a straight line. If I drew a line straight down to the ground from my center of gravity, from my head and my shoulders, it would hit about my toes. I'm bearing most of my weight through my toes normally, through like the ball of my foot. And that is actually too far forward, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So standing normally, I'm tilted forward. Now watch me shift back. We're going to put our shoulder blades in our back pocket. I'm going to tuck my ribs. I'm going to tuck my tailbone. That last one especially really brings me back. And now, not only am I standing straighter in better posture, now also my weight is driving through my heels and the arch of my foot like it's supposed to. And here's why this is so important, especially for those folks with knee trouble, other leg trouble, ankles, plantar fasciitis. When you're standing with your body weight so forward, because all of this is loose, those 3 points that we talked about are loose. When you're standing with your weight shifted forward like that, that means everything along the back of your body has to be on all the time to keep you from falling forward, to keep you from falling flat on your face. What that means is now, especially in my calves, all of that is so tight all the time. And when your calves are constantly on, your calves connect to your heel. So if this is my foot, this is going to be my heel. This is going to be the rest of my foot. My toes are over here. Your calf connects to the back of your heel, and your foot should have this nice arch in it. When your calf is constantly on and constantly tightening and constantly pulling up on that heel, it starts to flatten out the arch of your foot. As the arch of your foot starts to flatten out, not only do you now have flat feet, but you also tend to get plantar fasciitis because as that arch flattens out, there's a tendon that lives underneath of the sole of your foot called the plantar fascia. That's your other Latin for the day. And as that heel starts to flatten out, as that arch starts to flatten out, that tendon, that plantar fascia, overstretches and it really hurts. So, if we can get our posture shifted back because we've got our shoulders and our ribs and our pelvis in the right position, not only are we going to get the most out of our workouts, we're also going to hopefully let go of some of the tension that's across the entire posterior chain of our body, across everything that's across the back of our body, and relieve some of the tension in our knees because of our joint alignment, in our heels because of our muscle alignment, in our soles of our feet and our plantar fascia because now our calves aren't trying to hold up our entire body weight against gravity and yanking on that heel and making our feet flat. Also, like I said, antagonistic muscle groups. If everything on the back side of your body is on, very little on the front side of your body can do much of anything. Because if these guys are on, these guys have to be off. If the back is on, the front has to be off. That's how the body works. Otherwise, it's constantly fighting itself. And if you feel like your body is constantly fighting yourself, maybe that's part of what's going on. So, it is so, so important no matter what activity you're doing, whether you're doing exercises, walking, running, weightlifting, yoga, dance, Zumba, anything else, or you're just walking about your general day, or you're washing the dishes, you're cleaning up the house, you're mowing the lawn once the grass starts growing again, you're hauling stuff up and down the stairs because you're decluttering now that the winter is coming to an end. Anything you do, you want to have your body in the proper position because when your body is in peak condition, you can be at your peak potential. You will be able to get the very most out of everything that you're doing because your body's not fighting itself and it's less likely to get injured because everything is working like it's supposed to instead of working against itself. Now, what if you want to get to your peak potential, but you've got some other unique challenges going on? Maybe you've got something more going on with that plantar fascia that it needs a little more help. Maybe you've got scoliosis like I do. Maybe you've got arthritis because you were in a few too many car accidents as a teenager like I was. Maybe you've got something else going on and you need a customized plan to get you from where you are to where you want to be as rapidly as possible and get you to your very best, get you in your absolute peak and help you stay there. If that sounds good to you, let's talk. Reach out to me. Let's do a no charge phone consult, quick and easy, and figure out if gentle chiropractic care is the best fit for you to get you from where you are to where you want to be. Gently, easily, living life with less effort. Reach out to me, give me a phone call and leave me a voicemail, or you can leave me a text message if that's more your thing. My direct line is 636-751-3150. Or if you want to make life even easier, you can hop on my website. I've got a link to my calendar. You can set a time that's going to fit for you right there. No matter what time it is now, you will be able to hop on there at like 2 in the morning in your PJs or in the middle of the afternoon while you're taking a break from work. See what's open, book yourself for what works for you. That website is Complete Wellness cc.com. C like chiropractic, C like center. CompleteWellnessCC.com. There's a tab on the top that says set your consult. Go there. And remember, shoulders back, rib cage tucked, tailbone tucked. That's going to put you in this great position that's not only going to help you get the most out of your exercises, it's going to help you get the most out of your life. You can use this when you're public speaking, maybe not so much in person right now, but on video, you look a whole lot more confident in this posture than you do in this posture. People will take you more seriously if you look like you know what's going on, if you look more confident, if you carry yourself more confidently. Also, the mind-body connection. Where your mind goes, your body follows. If you're in a crap mood, you tend to be in crap posture. But it works the other way. Where your body goes, your mind follows. If you are in a more confident, more capable, more balanced and controlled and grounded posture, you're going to feel more in control, more balanced, more grounded in your mind and in your emotions. You'll be able to get through your day a whole lot better physically, mentally, and emotionally. If you need assistance customizing what's going to work best for you to get you even further beyond this foundation and get you to your peak, reach out to me for that no charge consult. All right, until I see you next time, go out and be your very best. I'll see you guys next week.